In this video right now, I'm going to be doing a really good friend of mine. His name is Dustin. We're going to be highlighting his hair. We're going to be doing it super natural. The thing you want to keep in mind whenever you're doing something like this, it's all about the finest sections, because you don't want to go super thick with it because it'll look super colored. We want to almost give it like this kind of sun-kissed kind of effect to it. I'm going to be using a 15 volume lightener, which is not super powerful. Developers come in 10, 20, 30, and 40. Those are your average developers. And a developer is really what's going to open up the cuticle so the lightener and the bleach can do really what it's going to do. So a 15 volume is nice. It gives me enough time to make it to where there's consistency when they process. So guys, if you ever run into the issue where your hair is getting overly highlighted, man, woman, whatever it may be, you know, a lot of times your stylist might be using too strong of a developer. That could be just freaking destroying the cuticle. So, you know, if you're a hairdresser watching, really watch the strength of your developers. If you're a consumer watching, you know, guys, you just need to, you know, maybe find a new hairdresser. But because a lot of times, if you're overlapping using too strong of something, your hair is only going to handle so much before it like breaks off. So cool. Let's do this. Let's go mix up some color. Here we go. So what I've been doing with this, with Dustin right here, number one, I don't think I was recording, and that kind of sucks. That really is not good. This is Dustin. Say, what's up, Dustin?
What's up?
But the funny thing is that when I've been actually putting in these foils, guys, the foils, the pieces have been super, very fine, not super thick, because we actually wanted to go very, very natural, very lived in. We don't want to manhandle these sections. We really want it to be dainty, soft, feminine, like Dustin. Huh? Show me your nails.
You can manhandle me, though.
I can. Well,
You can even see those.
oh yeah.
They're really good right now.
Oh yeah, they look good, dude. They look good. And your bling is coming through. And what was that little thing you just said? Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna leave that up to your husband. Touche. Yeah. But hey, that's all good,
You
dude.
said it.
Well, you know, the thing about it is that we
You're a good
hey,
sport, though. You're fun to tease.
well, you know, I gotta say, exit only.
To each his own.
to
You're
each.
gonna make me blush. This is
Yeah, that's hard to do. You know,
My cheeks are gonna hurt.
you're a little
Oh. Back
But-
to the vacation conversation.
Well, back to the vacation conversation. That's right. That is absolutely right. So anyways, we're going to Anne Marie Island. Super stoked about it. Kids are just...
Why did you choose that instead of
Well, we chose that one because it's actually not... it is... it wasn't as affected by the hurricanes.
Oh.
Yeah, and so we were kind of like, well, let's go do that then, because again, I think Siesta Key is fine, but I don't know if as much businesses were open. So
Gotcha.
yeah, we didn't really want to be limited to
When are you going?
April.
April?
Yeah, I think during their spring break. You know, you think about like their spring break, they're in like preschooling.
I know.
You know, like pre and preschool. I'm like,
It's like they're already controlling our life.
right. And they're just as young
8
as,
feet high.
you know, they're,
I know.
yeah, dude, it's so funny. But I think that we are, yeah, man, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be fun. We're just,
Is it just you guys going?
yeah, it's just us. Yeah, just us four. You know, there's, I think we have a friend down there that is going to come meet us. He's got a couple kids, and so that'll be fun. Yeah, man, we
So it's a little bit north, more north.
Oh my gosh, like, I don't,
I'm gonna look it up.
yeah.
You made Siesta Key sound really nice. Like,
dude,
for a
it's,
stateside
oh,
getaway.
dude. Well, the thing about the beaches there, or the beaches, they don't get hot. They're like this white powder, and it's just, I don't know what is the rock that's in. I think it's quartz. Is it quartz? But it's like, it doesn't get hot like normal sand does, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And then again, the waves are super gentle, so it's not like you have to worry about this crazy, oh my gosh, don't go in the water,
Yeah.
And then, you kind of feel like you're
Kids can
at this
really
exotic
enjoy
place, but still being like stateside,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
nice,
access to everything that
Yeah.
you need. Yeah.
It's awesome. So a little story here, guys. Dustin used to train me, because I was kind of out of shape. So he used to train me, and the funny thing is I'm not really a morning person. And I never said anything. And he was just like, oh, Jake's kind of in his like little mood or whatever, Yeah, just wouldn't talk like at all. And it was just kind of,
Not a morning person, is to put that lightly.
yeah.
But after so much time, you just kind of knew that was just the territory, and we got through it,
Yeah.
and I might just have done more of the talking in those sessions.
It's so funny.
I know everybody would be like, "Oh, Jake, he's not that friendly." No. He's a good guy. He just, in the morning, he's in his head, and he's there to work out, and he doesn't really want to bullshit through it all.
Yeah. I didn't.
You haven't become much more of a morning person all these years later, though, I imagine.
Well, no,
I
not
guess
really.
with kids, you kind of have to soften up a little bit.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Or
right?
are they even like, I got to give Dad he has to have his coffee first.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's like Eli. The funny thing about Eli is he's kind of moody, so he kind of picks that up from me. So when we're kind of trying to talk to him after he's gotten up for a nap or whatever it may be, it's like if he doesn't want to talk, I'm okay with that because that's kind of like me. And so, even we try and talk to him after, if we abruptly wake him up from a nap because he just likes to sleep. He's like, no, and he'll just say no. And I'm like, I get that. So I'm not going to bother you, bro.
I feel you.
I feel you, dog. I feel you.
Oh, that's funny.
It is actually.
Neither Kay or I are morning people, but they kind of know just leave me alone a little bit in the morning. But they kind of do their own little thing, and then we get going.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. It's just, like, everything about it is just so much fun. I love it. I love it.
Isn't it crazy to think about how long ago that was, though? What was that, like 2010?
When,
Yeah.
like, the workout?
Training, yeah.
Yeah, that was,
Would have started somewhere in that time frame for a few years from there, yeah.
right. Yeah, that was,
But I'll tell you, you were committed to that. You were there every time. 7 a.m., whatever time.
was it 7 a.m.?
It was 7 or 7:30.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, man. I like it. I like routine, I'm a big routine guy. Yep. Kelsey's still like, why are you going, I'm like,
Babe, you look good. Why are you? Honey, I'm keeping this for you.
I'm like, did you see that angle? Did you see that angle? Did you see that angle?
Notice how my butt looks in these jeans?
Dude, it's so funny.
She's not going.
No, she
Like
goes.
you?
No, she doesn't go like I do, but she'll go like, once or twice a week. And it's just pretty funny because she's always like, stop looking yourself in the mirror. I'm like, well, it's like,
Have you seen me lately? Feeling his out.
again, did you see this angle? Yeah.
She said, stop looking at yourself in the mirror and look at me.
I'm like, oh my gosh.
Just wait until Eli picks up on that too. From you.
Oh,
He
dude.
starts posing in the mirror.
Oh, dude, so funny. Like, oh my gosh. So, so the other night, it was we Kelsey was kind of skimming through like Netflix, you know, and she put on. I was like, oh, what did you put on? And she's like, I put on Leave the World Behind. Have you seen that yet? Okay. Well, I guess it came out like a couple years ago, and it's like, it's basically about like the end of the world, how like, you know, these people are basically infiltrating our system by breaking down our, you know, our cell service doesn't work, satellites don't work, there's no communication, like there's weird sounds happening that are microwaving your brain and making your teeth fall out, and just whatever, right? And everything just goes to shit, right? And so the basic story is that the show's almost over, and Kelsey's like,
or a movie?
huh? It's a movie. It's a movie. And Kelsey's like, she goes like, did you lock the doors? And I was like, yeah, I did. And she's like, that sounded like you didn't. And I was like, no, I did. And she's like, go check. And I was like, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what? Well, why don't you come with me? You know what I mean? Because I'm just like, now I'm freaked out, dude. Like walking through my house, I'm just kind of like looking around, all kind of like, and I'm like racing back to our room after I lock the door. I'm like, dude, I hate like movies that just make you sketched out of everything in the house.
Did it to both of you.
I'm like, dude, like, anyways, it is bizarre. If you haven't seen it, it's got, I think, Sandra Bullock in it. Can't remember
What was it called again?
Leave the World Behind.
Okay, I'll watch it. I think
And
I've
it-
seen it on that, but
Yeah, and it's just, and again, like, and we're sitting there and it ends, and I'm like, that's how it ends? It was like, what? I'm like, there's no resolution, like, at all.
I'm not done with this.
Anyways, dude, like, it is like just one of those things where you're like, what the, yeah.
What just happened?
Yeah. But we also watched, I don't know if you watched this, like this was, have you seen Squid Games?
I've seen parts of it.
Okay. So I didn't know what to expect at all,
Okay.
right?
You
And,
just watch it? Like
well, yeah, this was like a few weeks back.
Uh-huh.
And we started the first one. And it was interesting because I'm like, what is it? Well, first off, when they play the first game, I'm just kind of in utter shock, like all these people die, and I'm just like, wait,
But is it a game or is it a show? Is it a show about a game or is it an actual game?
So they run people through this, like these games, and essentially all these people had volunteered to come, and they're not good with finances, not good with money. They're big gamblers. They have this enormous debt hanging over their head. Well, this group of people gather them all on this like island to compete in these games, and if they're eliminated, that means they die. Their debt that hangs over their head is put into this like piggy bank of like where the person that is the last person standing can win all of it.
Oh, wow.
So it's an interesting story, and I kind of got hooked to it, but the dubbing is a little off, you know, because it's like dubbed in English, but it's very. I was just shocked.
It's kind of
at, like,
dark, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
oh yeah, for sure. It's not a family home evening like we're gonna watch it with the
Not
kids.
like Beast Games.
What?
Not like Beast Games. Have you watched that?
Well,
Mr. Beast game?
no, I
The
haven't.
kids and Matt love it.
Yeah, okay. The crazy thing about Mr. Beast is that's how I kind of heard about Squid Games was
Yeah.
he created this real life Squid Games that people kind of competed in that were like, nobody died, but they kind of did very similar games.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And people could win like millions or whatever, but
$5
yeah.
million.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But then, like, all kinds of other things, like, in addition to that final prize. Like,
Oh.
somebody won an island.
Oh wow, yeah. I mean, it's just crazy, man. It's so crazy on how much money.
But so did you finish it and watch the second season?
Well, we started it. We
Okay, so
we got in like
catch up too then.
it's interesting, you know. But yeah, we, man, anyways, very cool.
And I'm behind on so many shows.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot to invite you guys. I had a little like kind of a birthday DJ party
Oh, I saw that.
Yeah.
Where were you?
at Bar X.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in their private room.
Oh, fun.
And-
It looked like it.
Oh, dude, it was so much fucking fun, dude. It was so much fun. It was
So you
awesome.
were
Huh?
DJing.
I was
just in the
DJing.
back?
Yeah, it was just in the private room back there. And Carol Bernard, you know, because she's a concierge here, she was like, I asked her, I was like, I want to kind of throw a party. Would you guys be open to kind of having us come to your, you know, your bar? And she was like, absolutely. And so it was three DJ friends, two other DJ friends of mine. This guy, Dan, opened up for us, myself, Justin, and then myself. Yeah.
Oh, you had an opener?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
No, I saw that and I was like, good for you. I see that stuff and I'm like, oh, I want to try it sometime, but I think it would be fun if I actually knew what I was doing.
Well, why don't you come this Saturday to Shred, dude?
Oh my gosh.
Come on, pull the lead out, bro. Come on.
That thing almost killed me.
Come on, buddy.
No.
No?
Well, I need to some point.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Come, get your swole on, dude.
Yeah. And you'll sneak in some more Janet.
Come on, get some nice like swits down there, dude. Like, you know.
Jake, you're making me blush.
Yeah, dude. You know. Bring Matt, man. They got childcare. It's for free.
Hey, sounds like
Actually,
a family affair.
I think
You
it's
take
like-
the kids.
Yeah. Kelsey and I, like, yeah, she'll.
She's there with you.
Yeah, she's gonna go to the 8:30 class. So, yeah. One of the things as well, guys, is when you're actually doing this is kind of being careful not to overlap your sections here. Super important. You know, it's okay if like you need to actually blend into that color, but you really want to be super, super cautious about it crazy overlapping because we don't want to cause any more breakage at all. So within this section right through here, you're gonna see I'm just gonna paint it on right at that little root area right there.
Meaning, so you're not reaching what you've already colored before.
The what's
Is
that?
what you're saying?
The what?
You're not getting it where you've already
Yeah,
colored the hair.
yeah. We don't want to like go kind of past that point because we don't really want to cause any sort of. Because again, if you just keep overlapping and overlapping, you're essentially going to make the hair weaker and weaker, and you know it'll get blonder and blonder. But once it kind of reaches that point of like it's not going to go any further, it just kind of starts to break off, you know. And the breaking off can come from number one of just kind of, you know, a wear and tear of like brushing your hair, blow drying your hair. If you're aggressive with like the styling process of it, you know, because again, like the hair can only handle so much before it like you destroy it.
Yeah.
And most people don't understand that when it comes down to if people are trying to transition their hair and they're going to go from one extreme to the next, like, oh, I'm going to be dark this season and then light this season and then dark and light, and they go back and forth. Like, you can only really do that so many times before your hair is like has no integrity at all. And it's like, so there's, you know, so what I always recommend for people is like these gradual transitions if they're going to like change from season to season, or maybe not go so aggressive with it. I mean, unless you're extremely committed to that, which you don't have to worry about. But the whole point is that, you know, with, you know, highlighting, you have to be super cautious about, you know, your application process,
Yeah.
you know. Because a lot of times people, and I'll be 100% honest and transparent, a lot of hairdressers' applications are dog shit. You know what I mean? Like their application is, it's not, you have to be super
They're not
kind of
thinking about
meticulous about it, right? Because again, the integrity of the hair is the most important, you know, most important thing. Because if the hair looks good and it feels good, it's going to style well. It's going to be easier for the consumer to take care of their hair, you know. But if it's dry, dehydrated, compromised, you know, all of that, like, it's just going to be harder for you to make it to look good.
Yeah.
Because if you don't look good, I don't look good. You know what I mean? Boom.
This is why we come to the man. For the Jake effect.
Oh, shit. Shit. Did you guys just see what he freaking did there?
I'm a pro.
Oh, dude. I love it. I love it. Dude, we're going to have to, oh yeah, I love it.
Oh, that's funny.
That was freaking funny.
Oh my gosh, last week was parent-teacher conferences.
Okay.
And do you go to those things with Kelsey, or like,
It all depends on what time it's at,
Yeah.
you know?
like, and Matt's the same way. Like, if he does come, if he can, but
Yeah. If I can go, I'll definitely go.
yeah. But so because of that, they have like short day, right?
Okay.
And we normally have a short day on Fridays, but so there was a short day on Thursday in addition to because of those.
Okay.
Totally forgot to pick
So
up my kids.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So I get a call like
Shit.
they got out at 1:45. I get a call at 2. I shouldn't admit this on camera, but I get a call at 2, and they're like, "Mr. Williams." I'm like, "Yeah." She says it was an early day today, and I'm like, "Oh shit." I'm like, "I'll be there in 10 minutes. I'm on my way." They're just hanging out. They weren't upset at all, but I was petrified. I was like, they're lost their mind. They're just sitting there hanging out, and Walker's like, "Yeah, Kate said we could just walk home, and we don't live close to the school at all." And I was like, "Don't ever do that. You guys did the exact right thing.
Oh
Just
my
go to
God.
the office." But I was like, I've been petrified about this all year.
Oh, yeah.
Like at some point, I'm just gonna forget, right? Because it's every Friday. And then I was like, anyways, yeah.
So when you
Totally
say like,
was that parent.
so when you say like a short day, like what time?
1:45 versus 3:15.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's freaking funny.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness that, because they have to go like around the school to get back to the front, and so from like where they get picked up at.
Oh.
And so I was like, and there's not really a lot of like teachers out there like helping make sure. So I'm like, at some point they had been like, okay, I guess we should go to the office. You know, like I don't know.
Oh,
And I'm
wow.
like, oh, thank
Dude.
God they didn't just start walking, and then all of a sudden I'm like trying to. Oh, 6-year-olds down the street. I couldn't believe it.
Dude, that's funny. All right, bud. You can go hang out. You know?
Halloween?
Yeah.
I mean, eating.
I don't know if we're actually gonna heat it, but
I'll
yeah.
just go hang out.
Yeah, you do you. I'm gonna recap that really quick. Super fine sections when you're doing that. You do not want to go over the top with it, because again, it can start to look kind of stripy and whatnot. You want to keep it very subtle. Especially when you're kind of dealing with kind of a finer texture like that. I'm finer texture and density, but when you have but his hair is still, he's got a nice medium texture, which is awesome. So cool, guys, stick around. It's gonna be awesome. So Dustin's back from getting wet. I'm just kidding. Just getting a little bit heavy, kind of on those like little side areas. Yeah, cool. Perfect.
Oh my gosh. I gotta stop that.
Tired?
Apparently.
Yeah. Dude, it was so funny. Like, we had some of our good friends come and stay with us. And like, my good friend, he doesn't really drink coffee in the morning. And like I have like 2 or 3 cups in the morning. But I took him to Shred like one morning, and I was like, do you want a pre-workout? They were just like, no. And I was like, oh. And they're like, you do pre-workout, then you drink coffee? And I was like, yeah. I'm like amped.
It's like, get through my day.
How's your hair? You know what I mean? This is gonna be awesome. Sorry, it's a little choppy.
But he didn't have.
No, dude, no. I'm like,
He was
come on,
like,
dude.
"How
It's.
are you alive?"
I'm like,
Remember all those? What were those? What were those red drinks that we used to drink at the gym?
oh,
They were those like, oh, red vines.
Yes, red line.
The princess ones were pink. Oh my god, I would drink those. Like
They were
multiple
good.
of them in a day.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's like, I should have had a heart attack.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. You are.
Oh, that stuff was like crap.
Oh, dude, but they were tasty. They were like actually like pretty. I was like, oh, wow, like this is actually like not too bad. But man, if you drink a little bit too much, holy,
I know.
you were.
Some of the drinks and stuff that were legal, I mean, like Four Loko and all that.
Oh yeah, dude.
Can you imagine? Just like fashion, it's all going to come back. I saw Jinkos the other day.
Oh, you
Like a
did.
legit pair of Jinkos. The ref at Walker's basketball game.
Oh, dude, like that's. Oh yeah, man. We. It's kind of funny because like, I mean those Jenkos, like just those big like.
They're so bad.
Oh, dude.
I had blue corduroy Jinkos
Wait, you had blue corduroy like those?
in like 8th grade. Yeah.
Dude, that's funny.
I know. I look back, I'm like, who let me wear those to school?
Dude, who let the dogs
Could
out?
fit all of my textbooks in those pockets, everything.
Oh man, like, yeah. Like I was, oh yeah, not my proudest moment, but whatever. Oh yeah, dude. Like because I was a skater,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And I remember there was one pair that I had were like kind of it was a skater brand. They weren't Jenkos. I don't think I could afford Jenkos, you know? And so like I had to do the generic versions, but they were brown, you know, and I remember they were just so stiff, you know what I mean? Like, and it was just wide. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like my mom, bless her heart, right? Like she was basically a single mom, like supporting like 3 kids. And we didn't really have the luxury of a lot of really cool items, but my mom did what she could when she could, right? But I remember we got a pair of white Guess shorts from Burlington Coat Factory. And then we got a pair of Gerbots that were kind of a forest green, but those are the only 2 pairs. And then me and my brother would like share them, like, you know what I mean? And so like, oh my gosh, dude, it's so funny. Like, oh man. Well, and it's just kind of crazy because like back then, like you didn't have like, there's just so many more disposable pieces that people can wear that are, you know, don't have to be like these high priced items. And, you know, I mean, you can get away with so much more eclectic style that, you know, get on Amazon or whatever, right?
Nowadays, it's even like vintage and lived in and all that is kind of a thing. Whereas like when we were younger, I mean, I don't know, maybe it's probably the same now, but I feel like we worried about everything, right? Like we had to have like this and that and the other, and I'm like, I wish more people would have told me like, that shit does not matter. Like, it seems like it does right now, but just wait and get into the real world. It's just like, that stuff does not matter. Or, it doesn't mean as much as we think it does.
No.
You know,
well, and I mean, I think like,
4 years.
well, I think again, you're 100% right. I think that, you know, there's just so much like the thing that I find so amazing is that we like growing up in this time right now, like you have so much opportunity at your fingertips. Like you can do anything.
Yeah.
You can literally learn how to do anything. And like the only limit is your mindset.
Yeah.
That's it.
Your interest in doing the work to learn almost anything.
Absolutely. I mean, like you could learn how to you could literally figure out how to build a house all online.
Yeah.
Kind of like, all right, cool. Yeah, we're going to do this, right? Like, I mean, yeah, is it probably going to be as good as, I mean, might not be. But again, like.
One, but like you just keep on learning. And like, so literally you can really like find what it is you're into, what you're about, how you want to make your money, and there's ways to figure it out.
Totally, man. And so with that, it's like just the information, having the information at your fingertips where you're like, dude, like And so, and that's the other thing too, is like we grew up in like the same little like time where you are, I mean, I wish I had access to some of this information where you're kind of like, there's so many people that can think like me, like that are like, oh my gosh, like I wish that there was, some sort of, hard tool or an app that would tell me where I was going, my directions, I'm lost or whatever. Like, we didn't even know apps existed back, right? Or like, or like back in the day when you're driving around with your big CD thing and you're trying to drive and change your shit, you know what I mean? And you're like,
and you have the thing in your visor.
Oh yeah, dude. Where's that CD? Where's that CD? You know what I mean? Now you're just like, oh yeah, dude, I want to listen to that song. You're like,
the same CD for like 2 weeks, and they're like, okay, right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
It is, yeah.
Oh, and I had all those CD things. That was crazy.
Wow, I still have them. I didn't throw them away. I'm like, I'm not throwing this shit away, dude, because like,
it's all into it now. So I got her a little CD player because she likes to listen to music and she loves like Lady Gaga and whatnot. But I've got all those CDs.
So you kept them?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
And so she can be in her little playroom and she'll play and turn on her music.
Well, that's what I do. It's nostalgia, bro.
Yeah. Well, and then we've gotten back into records. We got a record player. And
right. Yeah. I mean, you're going to see so much of that stuff like come back, and it's already come back, right?
Well, and it just sounds so much better.
Right. Yeah, that, oh yeah.
But I like that, I don't know who said it to me, but I like that it brings you back into the music, like physically. Because back to like touching a record and flipping it over and listening to the whole album and
Right.
versus that like one-off
Yeah.
on Spotify.
Well, that's where you kind of like find where you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't know this song existed,
Totally,
you know?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my gosh, like, I mean, I remember this, it was on, I think that it was on, I think the Depeche Mode album Violator. And it was like, wait, was that what it was? I think, no, I think it was like U2. It was like a U2 album, and it was a song called Lemon. And it wasn't one of their main songs, but it just had like this cool beat. And it was like, man, like, I'm probably butchering it, but the whole point is that I don't think I ever would have known that song existed not having the CD,
Exactly.
you know?
Yeah. Well, and then you think about how many albums, like you turn it on and you know every word.
Right.
Right. And it's been 10 years since you listened to it, and they're
Right.
like, those were the good old days.
Well, dude,
But it's almost I've gotten to the point, like, because I listen to a lot of music, just constantly, right? Lately, though, I'm like, turn it off. Like, I'm like, I don't know what the hell I want to listen to anymore. I've been listening to a lot more audiobooks and podcasts and stuff like that.
Right.
But I'm like, that's just because I'm turning into an old man, apparently. Right? I read the newspaper now. I started reading the New York Times because I like, one, I love the crossword because I'm an old man. But two, I like reading an actual paper just to like stay semi, up to date. And I'm like, I am turning into my grandpa. And I'm not that upset about it, but I'm kind of like, shit, when did this happen? It's so bad.
well, you got a few of the natural highlights in here that are kind of like,
No, you don't have to tell people. Right at my temples. I'm going to blame that on my kids.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's, hey, can you turn that down a little bit?
No, all day long. Turn down your computer. Turn down. I know, that's the funniest part. You're driving, you're like, I gotta turn it down so I can hear myself think. Right? And that was on something funny online. It's like you reach an age where you have to turn down the radio in order to drive better. Right? Like you're parking, you gotta turn it down, and it's so true.
Like, dude, like there's like so many times I'm like, I'm pulling out or I'm doing something or whatever it may be, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're.
Give me a second. Dad, will you turn that music up? Hold on, I gotta drive. How does that work? Just don't worry about it. It's a real thing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You guys doing anything else besides Florida so far this year?
Oh my gosh, we went to we just got back from Phoenix,
Oh, that's right.
and we went out there for my birthday, and we saw Tiesto,
Who was supposed to be there, did you say?
Swedish House Mafia. It was
And why did they have
freaking,
to cancel?
huh?
Why did they have to cancel?
I don't know. I don't know if it was like something personal or whatever it may be, but it was, dude, Tiesto killed it, dude.
Oh, I
It
bet.
was awesome. Like it was, and the crazy thing about it is that it was called, I think it's called the Bird Box or whatever event is during the Waste Management, which is like the golf thing.
Yeah.
But so we had VIP tickets, and we were thinking, oh, it's just going to be kind of like this, you know, you're kind of like you've got a better view for the show or whatever. And it was like, you know, had all this like catered, like these food trucks, and
Wow.
and then it had like, we go up and we're thinking, okay, we're gonna grab a drink, and we're taking our stuff to kind of pay for the drinks, and they're like, oh no, like you get 8 drinks that come with your VIP ticket. We're
8?
like, 8 drinks?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like,
Not in Utah.
yeah, we're not in Kansas anymore, Toto. And the thing was that I didn't even use my wristband. I'm like, anytime like Sam or Heather or whatever went up to grab a drink, like we were good. Like, I think I had a total of 3 throughout the night. And I'm like, dude, people were wasted.
I bet.
And it's free pour.
Yeah.
You're not in Utah anymore, dude. Like, yeah, it was, so it was a lot of fun. We had a ball, you know.
One of my favorite DJs these days is, do you know Zoo?
Yeah.
C-H-U?
Yeah,
I really like them.
well, that's awesome. What's their sound?
What's their what?
Like, what's their sound? Like, what's
I
their,
don't know the names for that stuff. It's just.
is it
really
fast? Is it slow? Is it more
good. Well,
kind of like,
everything in between. It's kind of like this chilly stuff that you have going on right now.
oh, yeah, okay.
You know, I've got the most amazing playlist on my Spotify though.
Oh, there you go.
That I add to over the years, but it sounds silly, but it's just Dustin's Chill Collection.
Oh,
if
nice.
you look for the playlist on your Spotify, but it's
Oh.
all just like not the hard dance remixes that I used to,
Right.
because I have one that's my remix collection that I used to play at the gym, but like more chilly hangout type stuff. It's really good. But,
Yeah, I'm gonna send you a set I did that's actually
Okay.
more chill remixes.
Mhm.
It's actually,
Like
it's,
chill covers.
yeah, it's actually, it's sexy.
Yeah.
It's very, very sexy, you know? So, I mean, like stuff that you're kind of like, oh, this is
Yeah.
cool.
Do you know
Like,
Rosenfeld? I think that's his name.
who?
I'm gonna send you this. I think it's Rosenfeld. When you're talking about like sexy music, like,
Yeah.
kind of like dirty, sexy, like okay, daddy.
Okay, daddy.
Yeah, okay, daddy.
Okay, daddy.
Good boy now.
Is there, how many moments do you have like that are like listening to music, okay, daddy?
I know, not enough.
Nah.
Oh, not enough. I'll tell you. Get down.
Oh, that's funny.
But that's why I love like live music though. Like when you go to like a DJ set, like Matt's not so much into that type of thing, but I love that.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Like when you can actually go see somebody live,
Yeah.
and it's just you see them in a kind of a setting that you're just like, you know, whether or not they're pumping it up or they're doing these, you know, these versions where you're like, oh, dude, like it's just fun, you
And I
know.
think the energy from out is just from people,
Right.
Because it's the only time, not the only time, but one of the few times for me, anyways. But I think for a lot of people where I don't think about anything else, right? My brain is just off, except for the experience of being there, listening and enjoying the atmosphere. Like that's what I said when we went to Phoenix last year for Troye Sivan and Charlie XCX.
Oh yeah.
Fucking amazing. And I was really there for Troy.
Right.
But I like Charlie, but I came away from that and she is a fucking performer. I've never seen somebody give so much energy during a show.
Oh, wow.
Is just the entire arena did not sit down for 3 hours, right? Like did
Right.
not sit, and to be in the room and that much energy, and it was just like being at a big old, like a DJ set, but in a big stadium type thing, and it was so much fun.
Have
But
you,
just you could feel the music, right? 'Cause
Right.
She got some heartbeat stuff. Yeah.
so Kelsey introduced me to the Charlie XC, and it was like the Billie Eilish.
Yeah. Yes.
I was like,
Okay.
dude, that is sexy.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And just the beat in itself, I was like, and I'm not really a Billie Eilish fan at all, but I was like, this is
Her voice
good.
is
Yeah.
absolutely
I was like,
amazing. It's unreal.
yeah, I was actually super impressed. I was like, this is
The
like,
song is super fun, and
Oh, yeah.
her whole album, the Brat one, is really good.
okay. Yeah, I was kind of like, all right, I always kind of joke around with Kelsey, like, like if we're like playing a song and I'm like, she's like, God, how does she say it? She's like, yeah, she's like, I introduced you to this song. I was like, no, I introduced you to this song. You know what I mean? And so we're just like, she's like, no, you didn't. I was like, no, every song that has ever been amazing, yeah, it's always been introduced from me to you.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, right. She'll just like roll her eyes. Like, she's introduced me to some really cool stuff, I'll give her
Primarily,
credit.
it's you.
I'm giving you credit, babe. If you're ever going to watch this video, you've introduced me to some cool shit,
It's like me and Matt, right?
Huh?
Me and Matt. I mean, all the music comes from me. He just listens to Teddy Swims over and over and over and over and over and over. He loves Teddy Swims.
Who is it?
Teddy Swims.
Teddy Swims?
You know.
Yeah.
But
He just listens to the same person over and over?
over and over and over and over and over.
Dude.
I'm like, honey, I can't. Like, at least put on like something, because he'll go through it like that, and then he'll put on Sam Smith for like one time, and then back to Teddy Swims.
Dude, that's so funny.
It's okay. He's just kind of a, I don't know.
Dude. The cutest thing that we actually have, like the kids, they always, every night after we, not every night, but when we give them a bath, shower, they always want to have a dance party. There's two songs they want to listen to, and I'm like, this is my influence. I'm like, yep, house music, we got it. But they want to do Swedish House Mafia. What's the name of that song? What is the name of that song? It's like, hold on. I'm having a brain fart, dude. Don't you worry, child. Like, and it's the version where they're DJing at Ultra Music Festival years ago, and it's sick because again, like, it starts off with a Led Zeppelin cover that they're playing, and then it goes right into Don't You Worry, Child, and then they on one of the breakdowns, they actually bring in one of their other tracks. You're just like, it's the coolest thing. Kids love it. But then after that, Eli always wants to listen to Avicii Levels.
Oh, really?
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. And they just and it's just, and I'm like, I'm just sitting back there. I'm like, yep, these are my kids. I love it. Who doesn't love it? Because it's like music. I'm like,
No, I love it. Like, Kate and Walker, they love Billie Jean,
oh, okay, yeah.
and they like listening to Michael Jackson and whatnot. And I don't know, I'm proud that they're like, it's not always like something totally new and
Right.
like just the hottest thing. They just like some classic things.
And
She's
that-
really obsessed with Lady Gaga lately.
Dude.
And I'm like, I'm not upset about that, because I'm like, if I'm gonna have to pay to take you to concerts, may as well be ones I want to go to too.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. I'm like, I cannot wait to take them to like Swedish House Mafia or something like that, where you're just like, let's go experience this together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you're like,
We do that a lot. Like, we would, because we worked for Larry Miller, so they always had employee tickets at the Deaf Center. So I mean, but I saw like Elton John and Billy Joel and Aerosmith and Styx and
dude, how sick is that?
like all of these shows that I was way too young for then, but all kinds of stuff that.
Dude, how cool. See, that's awesome, man. My first concert was the original In Excess
Oh, really?
with Michael Hutchins. Yeah. I would have to say I was like, that was a pretty cool concert, you know?
Mine was Billy Ray Cyrus.
Was it really?
The first one that I mean, that is the truth. But the first one that I was really like stoked about, though, obviously, was Janet. I was
Right.
8 years old, obsessed.
Did you see Janet 8 years old?
Sick
Wow.
here on the Janet tour in '94, and we had like shit tickets. Me and my like 4 sisters, like behind the stage, you know. And she got sick and went off stage, and then came back later. And so my stepdad got tickets for just me and him to go back.
Right.
But he got like better tickets that second time because I was having such a good time, and so I got to go again. And it's been a love affair ever since.
Dude, that is so cool.
You know, like the Janet album, and like she had the
Oh, yeah.
the 2 hands.
Oh, yeah.
So I wanted the music videos, came out on VHS for Christmas, and I wanted it so bad. I got it from Santa, but it was it had been taken out of the box and put in just a clear nondescript one, because you can't give an 8-9-year-old that, apparently.
Oh, yeah. Well, obviously, it, you know. But, dude, I'm like, yeah, I remember that thing. I was like, oh,
I know.
hey,
I
ooh.
was like, I think I'm gay, but
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. But I still like to
I
wrestle.
knew I
But,
was a bimbo.
but I still like to wrestle with my guy friends. Do you guys want to wrestle? We just got done wrestling, Dustin. Like, I don't want to wrestle again.
Done yet.
That's awesome.
I was too busy playing with the Barbies.
Playing what?
Playing with the Barbies.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, it's so funny. I kind of bring that out because my good friends from Vegas, like, you know, I asked them, I was like, when did you guys know you were gay? And one of them said, he's like, well, he's like, when we were kind of wrestling, he's like, I just loved wrestling with my guy friends. So, you know, I was like, that's so funny, dude. I was like, yeah, dude. I go, that's awesome. Good for you, man.
I should have done more wrestling.
The what?
I should have done more wrestling. Now I was thinking about it. I was such a shy little kid.
You were shy? Really?
Oh yeah. Well, but I was like the obvious sweet gay kid that
Right.
was trying not to be so obvious to guys.
Right. Yeah, okay.
But I worried about too many things, you know, in those 10 years.
You were a stress case?
Oh,
Or you-
yeah.
Yeah?
Well, it just everybody's gonna find out, and you know, because it's weird. Like you say, like when do you know? Like I tell people I knew when I was like 4 or 5. But you don't have like gay's not a word you understand at that age,
Right.
right? And it's not about sex either at that age. You just know it as something's different,
Right. Yeah.
and then you're like, oh, your inherent way of being about that is, oh, something's wrong,
Right.
you know.
Well, plus, I mean, like probably back in the day, there wasn't like, you know, again, we're in the day, you know, the information era, right? And it's kind of like people can have like these conversations where they're kind of like, oh no, like there's been enough stuff happening that people are kind of like,
Well, and we grew up right at the end of the AIDS crisis.
right,
And and the societal everything that came with that, you know, gay cancer and
right. How young are you?
I'm 38.
38. Okay, yeah.
I was
So
born in
I've
86.
I've almost got 10 years on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, did you see have you been on like Instagram? Have you been following like what's going on with like Angie and the Real Housewives and okay.
No, not really, but what happened?
Well, the season's over. They've
Yeah.
had their reunion, all that stuff, whatever. But just with Angie, like we did that. We did a shoot for her, and it was awesome.
I saw you on there recently, yeah. Was
And-
it cute?
But it was cool because she's just like, they've got some stuff coming out, some art pieces that I was a part of that I was able to photograph. But it's just cool to kind of see her really just kind of she's able to compartmentalize her role of like being on there and then kind of who she is, but she's having a lot of fun with it. And I was like, that's great. That's good. You know what I mean? Like, it shouldn't stress you out. It shouldn't be like something that is, because man, I think that,
Well, it's
your
way more
life is
enjoyable
on
to watch
display.
when she's comfortable, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But which is good. So it's just funny because like when I talk to her, like get the little inside scoop here and there. And I'm like, dude, like some of those girls are just bananas, bro.
Oh, I bet.
Like bananas. Like, and what happens? And I'm like, what happened with this or what happened with that? I'm just like, dude, like, I'm like, how do you deal with this? And she's like, no, man, she just compartmentalizes. And
Sometimes you watch those things and you're like, is this real?
right.
Like, are people really this crazy?
I think that people are really this crazy, but I also think that they ham it up,
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a TV-based thing, but
I mean, there's a role to play also.
absolutely. Like, it is just, wow.
She's so pretty though.
Yeah, dude, and you know what's so great about her, man, is that she looks as good as in person as she does, like, when she's on camera.
Yeah.
Like, she's got good skin. She doesn't drink a lot. She doesn't eat like shit. Like, she actually takes care of herself, so everything you see is real,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Well, and her
Hey, what are you doing?
massive.
Did I that? No, I'm just kidding. What are you looking? The Clippers? I was looking for you yesterday. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I'm like, the only day yesterday I had a guy client where I needed it. I'm just like, dude. But no, but that's, and it's just, especially when I'm like doing her hair, I'm like, you just, like what you see is what you get, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because some of those girls are grim, bro. Grim. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to be a douche, but,
Oh, I can.
I'm like, if you're
I
gonna,
haven't watched it all, but I'm just like, that's so crazy.
well, and if you're gonna go on a show like that, right? And I get it, the show is about glam, and the show is about like, putting like this expensive lifestyle out in front of you, whatever. But you would hope, right? Like, that you can't really. The problem is that you can't really hide if you like the toxicity of like what you bring, the frequency you bring into your life, the bad food you bring into your life, the alcohol you bring into your life, like that comes out in your skin.
Yeah.
That comes out, and it's like, and then you have these shows that are filmed in 8K. You're just like, you look like shit. You know what I mean? Like where, I don't know, man. I'm like, I just think it's like,
I know cameras have gotten too good.
right.
We need the auto filter cameras now.
Totally, dude. It's just funny.
Calling it like the 2010 filter. Just
Right.
it's better if it's not quite there.
Can we go back to the bunny ears? You know what I mean? Like, how funny is that?
And I'm
Can we-
trying to catch the box music TV and you have to like get the antenna the right way.
It's so funny, dude. Have you been like kind of like wearing it more natural, or have you
I
just?
actually have.
Oh, good, dude.
I haven't been. I mean, I do like this where I
You'll,
throw it out a little bit.
right.
But it's I've been putting much like really controlled
Yeah.
hair product in it.
Yeah.
I just use really a hair cream, and then a little bit of hairspray when I need it, but not even really that much.
Well, that's the thing about it. Like, you really don't have to. Like, you're kind of just embracing like that just kind of natural kind of look to it.
Well, I
Where,
learned how to do it where it falls, but we should wear it off just so that it can stay in the
right.
general area.
Thank you so much.
Actually, let's go with the sun now. It looks good. Need some real sun, Jake.
That's what I'm saying. Crypto,
I
bro.
know. I need to take off.
Let's but honestly, dude, I think with where everything is going with the thing that I'm like so excited about is that we're going to get a new SEC chair, which is the last one was Stifling
Have you
Innovation.
nominated him yet?
I think so. I just don't think there's been confirmation. There's the guy that's been sitting in because Gensler left before he got into office. But I'm like, again, man, I'm like, once that clear regulation comes out, whether they drop the case, or whatever it is, or they settle it or whatever, you're going to see big institutions come in. And that's where you're going to start to see like movement happening. And then once you get tokenization happening, bro, game over, dude. That's when we're going to have our little...
Well, and that's why Matt's all about the T0, because their platform is going to be where all that starts going through.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Tokenization is where it's at, man.
Yeah. But T0's software and all that will be the actual one to facilitate those movements.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like, let's go, man. What do you want me to put in it? Something soft?
A little bit of product, yeah.
Okay. Ladies, what's up?
Nothing. What I'm doing. And then I always forget that you're recording, and then I looked up, oh my gosh. I've been
Dude.
making funny faces.
You're all good. Come on in. Make funny faces. You know? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys, we're gonna put some of this in here. It's called Nendo Definer. Nendo Definer. I don't know. Yeah, it's something. It is a. Oh my gosh, what am I trying to say here?
Clay?
Huh?
Clay?
It's kind of like a matte. Yeah, it's like a matte kind of clay. It's not super heavy. It is. It smells amazing. Oh my gosh. Oh, can you guys smell? Yeah. Anyways.
Cameras are getting real good.
Yeah. Did you guys get that?
I think it's so good.
And just pretty, you know.
I always like when I'm done here, 'cause then I feel like, I feel pretty again.
Yes, well, you're pretty. You are pretty.
I tried. Keeping up with you, man.
No, I mean, keeping up with you. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. Dustin, thanks for the laughs. I hope you guys really enjoyed it. Until next time, we're going to have him back because, you know what, why would I not have him back? Well, he comes back. Is it every 4 weeks?
About.
Yeah.
Yeah.